A federal jury reaches a verdict in the case against Joe Exotic. Norman voters head to the polls. And what changes have been made since a historic rally at the Oklahoma State Capitol a year ago today? This is OU Nightly. Thanks for joining us for OU Nightly. I'm Storme Jones.
And I'm Tori King. We begin with breaking news this evening.
A federal jury finds a former Oklahoma zookeeper and past candidate for governor guilty in a murder-for-hire plot. Federal prosecutors say Joseph Maldonado Passage, better known as Joe Exotic, tried to hire at least 2 people to kill a Florida woman in 2017. The FBI testified last week Joe Exotic was embroiled in a decades-long feud with Carol Baskin, the owner of Big Cat Animal Rescue in Florida.
He was accused of trying to pay an undercover FBI agent $10,000 to kill Baskin. In addition to the murder-for-hire case, jurors also found Passage guilty of 17 wildlife offenses. A U.S. district judge will hand down a sentence a few months from now, which could include more than 20 years in prison. And charges of child molestation have been filed against a TV storm chaser. Lawrence McEwen is known as a storm chaser most recently for KOCO TV in Oklahoma City. He's accused of molesting a 15-year-old boy. According to the arrest affidavit, the victim's mother reported her son had been touched inappropriately over the course of the 4 to 5 months. OU reached out to KOCO about McEwen. The person who answered the phone at the station told us they had no comment.
1 year ago today, Oklahoma teachers made history walking out of classrooms and pushing for change in education funding. OU Nightly's Eddy is live at the state capitol with a look at where Oklahoma education stands today. Ashley.
A year ago today, thousands of people gathered at the state capitol in support of public education. And today, as you can see, it may be a lot quieter, but that doesn't mean all the problems just got resolved.
Is an attacking 3-4 front. Yesterday, Grinch spoke about the difficult transition players are facing from the change. The defense last year ranked in the bottom 15% of the country.
Just get solved. A recent statistic states that over 30,000 teachers have left Oklahoma schools in the past 6 years.
It's just too hard to get by month to month, so we are moving to the Atlanta, Georgia area where I've accepted a teaching position, and I will be making over $20,000 a year more doing the exact same job.
Oklahoma Watch reports that roughly half of all Oklahoma teachers quit within 5 years. Nearly 1 in 5 new Oklahoma teachers were emergency certified during the 2017-18 school year. Teachers gained an average $6,100 pay raise last session and a $1,200 pay raise this session. But some legislatures this session want to make sure they can't have another walkout. House Bill 2214 would take away the license of teachers partaking in walking out. This bill never received a hearing when referred to the House Common Education Committee. And the Oklahoma Education Association is putting on different events throughout the week in support of education funding. Reporting live at the Oklahoma State Capitol, Eddy.
The state legislature missed an important deadline yesterday. By law, they were supposed to pass a budget for public education. That still has not happened.
And it's election day in several parts across the state. OU Nightly's Taitum Wilson has the details on what Norman residents are going to see on the ballot.
One of the things Norman voters will head to the polls to consider are 3 propositions known as the Vision for Norman Plan. The proposals include a stormwater and transportation general obligation bond and a stormwater utility fee to fund stormwater infrastructure and road projects.
The city of Norman's stormwater infrastructure is, up to 90, 100 years old. We have clay pipe in some parts of our older parts of town. And these bond projects help to address flooding issues from this undersized infrastructure.
The The proposals would also address water quality improvements in Lake Thunderbird, which provides 70% of drinking and tap water in Norman. The vote comes after residents rejected a different plan to fix stormwater infrastructure in 2016. Now, OU Nightly's Meridith Mulkey joins us with how voters are reacting to the Vision for Norman proposal.
I stopped by a polling location today to talk with voters about the 3 big measures on the ballot.
Voters will consider the Vision for Norman plan, which includes 2 bonds and a utility fee. Some aspects of the proposals would change residents' property taxes and monthly bills.
It's a good thing, but my major concern is how it's being funded. And it always seems like, especially on Proposition 2 and 3, the homeowners are going to be hit with higher taxes again.
The $72 million transportation bond consists of 19 projects for a total investment of $139 million in Norman's transportation infrastructure and would not raise property taxes. If passed, the projects would include the widening and reconstructing of roads, adding a new traffic management center, installing new traffic signals and additional sidewalk paths. This bond would also help with Proposition number 2, the stormwater system improvements. The $60 million stormwater bond would fund 33 projects aimed to reduce flooding and would replace current aging infrastructures. This would increase the average property owner's taxes by about $5.25 a month.
I think we do need all the stormwater issues that we're facing, but let's figure out some other way to handle them.
The stormwater utility would also add to residents' bills, and fees could be anywhere from $3 to $9. If the bond package is passed, it will take approximately 10 years for all the projects to be completed. Back to you, Taitum.
Thank you, Meridith. Ward 3 residents also vote in a runoff election today to decide on a city council member. Allison Patrone and Richard Bailey are on the ballot. Ward 3 was the only city council vote that came to a runoff. And voters are also choosing a representative for Office 4 of the Norman Public Schools Board of Education. Victoria McBride is challenging incumbent Chad Vice. And Storme and Tori, as always, polls are open until 7 tonight. Back to you at the desk.
Well, thank you, Taitum.
And it was really great weather for those heading out to the polls today.
It is great weather. Trey Bell the question is, will the spring weather be sticking around with us? Trey Bell will be here to tell us the forecast. Trey?
Yeah, guys, it's beautiful outside now. We're sitting in the 60s and the 70s across the state. 71 here in Norman, 71 down in Ardmore. A little bit cooler off to the northeast where it's in the 60s. We have northerly winds up there as well. But heading forward, remaining mild over the next several days. Strong winds return for us tomorrow. And there is a possibility of some severe storms. I'll break all of that down in Maine weather. Storme, Tori, back to you at the desk.
All right, keeping an eye on those storms. Thank you, Trey. The Me Too monologues return to the OU campus tonight in Meacham Auditorium. Students, faculty, and staff anonymously submitted personal stories that'll be performed by student actors. This is the first time the event has been held twice in the same school year, having last performed in October. The production is designed to give people an opportunity to tell their story and allow others to learn from their experiences.
People submit monologues about things that they wouldn't normally talk about. And having those monologues said both allows the person to really get out some stories and some emotions that they wouldn't normally otherwise do. And then it also allows people to hear those monologues and understand someone's point of view that they wouldn't normally hear.
Performances will be held in Meacham tonight and tomorrow at 7 o'clock. Both nights will contain the same stories. And a horrific ride-sharing tragedy in South Carolina to a South Carolina student leads lawmakers to author a bill that could make ride-sharing safer. Up next, details on the bill and what it could mean for Uber and Lyft users around the country.
Plus, the Oklahoma City Thunder gear up for a pivotal contest tonight as they look to improve their playoff seeding in the Western Conference. Stay with us on OU Nightly. President Donald Trump leaves Republicans and Democrats reeling as he takes on a new position repealing and replacing the Affordable Care Act. Claire Easley has more in the News Center. Claire?
Thanks, Tori. President Trump recently announced that he will not be forcing a push to vote for the replacement of Obamacare after the 2020 elections. New York Senator Chuck Schumer criticizes Trump for changing his mind on health care.
The American people will not stand for the president playing cynical games with health care and politically by betting with the health of 20, 30, 40 million Americans.
A White House official said that Trump had given up on his plan of health care because he believed it would not make it through a Democratic-controlled House. And Los Angeles Police Department identified a suspect responsible for the murder of Nipsey Hussle. Police say 29-year-old Eric Holder has been identified through surveillance video and witnesses.
Nipsey Hussle was an artist who touched our city and the lives far beyond the City of Angels throughout this country and this world.
Eric Holder is now in the custody of the LAPD. Lawmakers in South Carolina are planning to introduce legislation for rideshare vehicles after the death of a USC student on Friday. This will include requiring companies like Lyft and Uber to display illuminated signs. South Carolina Representative Seth Rose and co-sponsor Micah Caskey plan to make the Samantha L. Josephson Ride-Sharing Safety Act bill. The bill is said to make it easier for riders to identify Ubers and Lyft vehicles. And guys, today there was another chemical plant fire in the Houston area. At least one person was killed and 2 others in critical condition at the KMCO plant in Crosby, Texas.
All right, thank you for following that, Claire.
And a popular touring show returned to OU for the 37th year. We'll tell you all about this unique event on campus in a moment.
And Trey will let us know if this spring weather will stick around.
Yeah, guys. Beautiful weather here now, but storms are in the forecast. I'll have more after the break. Good afternoon. Welcome back to OU Nightly. I'm Trey Bell. Here is a view of downtown Oklahoma City from our skyline cam. Mostly sunny skies. We have some low-level clouds around in downtown Oklahoma City and in central Oklahoma. And so it's 70 degrees right now in Norman. Mostly sunny skies. Winds out of the south at 15 miles per hour and a dew point of 39. So it is quite dry outside as well. Wind forecast, winds are going to increase tomorrow, so let's break down exactly when and where this will happen. Here's this evening at 7 p.m. heading through tonight. Winds are calm, nothing major expected. But then as we're waking up tomorrow morning, watch the clock here, 7 a.m. as we approach early afternoon hours, winds crank up out of the south, 26 miles an hour sustained here in Norman. Gusts will be even higher, so expect a breezy day tomorrow. We do have storms in the forecast as well. Cloudy skies in portions of the state for the remainder of this evening, and that will continue into tomorrow morning. So northern half of the state seeing clouds, southern half of the state mostly clear. Now, late tomorrow afternoon, early tomorrow evening, we do have the possibility of some severe thunderstorms firing in far western Oklahoma and the far eastern Texas panhandle, and this will move eastward across the state through the evening. Main threats are large hail, so that's what we're expecting for tomorrow. And then Thursday morning, storms redevelop in eastern Oklahoma, and they are quickly off into Arkansas, and we deal with them no longer. So severe risk, slight risk in effect for western Oklahoma tomorrow. So slight chance of thunderstorms in western Oklahoma. Storms redevelop in northeastern Oklahoma Thursday morning. Lows tonight 50 here in Norman, 50 in Oklahoma City. So pretty much 40s and 50s across the state. Highs tomorrow, 60s across the state once again. And rounding out your forecast, so storms in the west tomorrow evening, mostly cloudy for Thursday. And then we have scattered chances for storms as well throughout the week. So once we get through this round of storms, we do have more in the forecast, but beautiful temperatures are here to stay.
All right, well, thanks for letting us know about those upcoming storms. Thank you.
Thanks, Trey. Stop Down, the nation's most competitive touring step-down show, returned to OU this weekend for its 37th year. OU Nightly's Cassidy Mudd was there.
It's the largest stepped show in the region. Hosted by OU's Black Student Association and the National Pan-Atlantic Council, Stomp Down is the annual event that invites African American Greek organizations from the surrounding states to showcase their talents. This form of percussive dancing pulls from a variety of influences, such as gymnastics, marching band, and breakdancing, while also conveying a story through self-expression.
The African American community loves music in all shapes, sizes, and forms. So, it's amazing that we can still use Stumping and Stepping as a platform.
Although popularized by Greek organizations, stepping finds its roots in early African history. The call and response songs were used to pass messages and stories through the emotion of dance.
stepping, strolling, really see where the history comes from and really get an opportunity to just experience that life and that culture, especially here on the campus.
Stomp Down is a celebration of heritage and culture for everyone.
The black community is a part of the OU community, and like the OU community itself is so wonderful, so to be able to like come together under events like this and like all have a good time is just really important.
All right, thank you for that report, Cassidy. OU baseball is back in action tonight as they'll hit the L. Del Mitchell Field, L. Del Mitchell Park, that is, behind a freshman sensation.
Kelsey Hovanetz joins us in sports with the full preview. That's right, Storme and Tori. Oral Roberts makes a trip from Tulsa to take on the Sooners this evening. Plus, the OU football team is hard at work preparing for the annual spring game. Sports is next. Welcome back to OU Nightly. I'm Kelsey Hovanetz, and it's time to talk sports. Tonight, the Sooner baseball team looks to continue their stellar play as they return to Norman to open a 6-game homestand. Freshman phenom Ben Abram takes the mound for OU as they host Oral Roberts at 6:30. Abram, a 6'7" right-hander, brings a 5-0 record into tonight's tilt. And Sooner fans might be riding the struggle bus through the offseason, but Sooner football struggles don't stop there. James Myers joins us now to talk about the new and improved Sooner defense.
After plenty of defensive struggles in 2018, Alex Grinch was brought in to replace Mike Stoops as permanent defensive coordinator. Stoops focused on a preventative-style defense, whereas Grinch emphasizes an attacking 3-4 front. Yesterday, Grinch spoke about the difficult transition the players are facing from the change.
I think probably too much right now that, you know, when the ball is snapped, I know the anticipation of making a play just is not there for enough guys. I think being content with maybe being in the right place is you know, too much of a standard, and then that obviously you can't play great defense doing that. You know, if you're not going to make the play, who is? Obviously, you got to do it in the structure of the things we're asking you to do, but we need more guys thinking that way.
The defense last year ranked in the bottom 15% of the country. For reference, UConn also ranked in the bottom 15% of the country, and they went 1-11 on the year. So, Kelsey, obviously, there's lots of room for improvement for the defense. Reporting live, James Myers, OU Nightly.
Thanks, James. And last night's Sooner Sports Pad show can be seen right here on OU TV at the end of our newscast. Last night, 2 stars of the men's gymnastics team, Levi Anderson and Jake Maloli, stopped by the set. They'll be hosting the MPSF Championships this weekend and hope to advance from there to the NCAA finals. They're looking for their 5th straight national championship.
We look to just continue to almost make Oklahoma happy and fit the Oklahoma standard of success, and that's, you know, every athletic program here, everyone here is fantastic. So just kind of matching that same success.
Meanwhile, up in OKC, the Thunder will host the Los Angeles Lakers tonight at 7. While LA has been eliminated from postseason contention, the Thunder are tied with the San Antonio Spurs for 7th in the Western Conference, and they'll look to break that deadlock with a victory tonight. And the Alliance of American Football announced today that it's suspending operations indefinitely. The upstart league was 8 weeks into a 10-week regular season, and it's unclear whether this signals the permanent end of AAF action. Poor attendance and a lack of revenue had plagued the league throughout its inaugural season. And you might have seen this viral Twitter video of the lady who literally does not flinch, but take a look at this one just 2 days later. The ball flies back to her, and this time she just gives us a sassy little jazz hands. Love that.
Well, that was awesome. Thank you for that, Kelsey.
Thank you.
All right, thanks, Kelsey.
And coming up, a 13-year-old boy surprises his mom with the gift of a lifetime.
What you'll want to see it, find out what it was when Nightly returns.
Welcome back to OU Nightly. I'm Taylor Cox at the Update Desk. Major Kevin Foster is appointed the new interim chief of police effective this Saturday, April 6th. Major Foster has served in numerous areas of the police department and been in charge of every bureau at some time in the last 30 years. Major Foster says that he is grateful to the city manager for this opportunity and looks forward to continuing the work of the Norman Police Department. Back to you at the desk.
All right, thank you, Taylor. A 13-year-old in Nevada bought a car for his mother.
Yes, William Preston is one of 3 kids, and through Facebook, he got the idea to surprise his struggling single mom. He saw a woman was selling a white Chevy Metro online and used hard-earned money from mowing lawns to purchase the car. He even traded his Xbox to help pay for it. That is so awesome. What a great story.
If you're driving the car this week, windows down or up, Trey?
Down for most of it, though we do have a chance for some severe weather tomorrow afternoon. This is what radar could look like tomorrow late evening, but then these storms will move off east across northern Oklahoma. I'm not expecting any impacts here in central Oklahoma.
All righty, thank you, Trey, and thanks for watching OU Nightly, brought to you by the Gaylord College at the University of Oklahoma.
We'll see you right back here tomorrow night, live at 4:30.
Have a great evening.
Good night.